How are you doing? This is Stephen with Merk Farms Hunting and doing the video blog weekly update. I've got some really cool things to go over, and then going to again detail the tract that's open. And then honestly, one of the things that's cool, I'm going to get out of here, hit the road, have some new lands to look at today, some really good ones, so I'm excited. So I'll just jump right in. Let's jump right in with, again, some of the kind of squirrely things that go on. I want to encourage people to avoid. Like this week, I had a guy jump on the viewing only membership level. Again, it's cheap. You just pop in, you look, is there something here you like, and then talk about maybe upgrading. But even outside of that, I mean, before I even had a chance to respond, I think, they had messaged on like 20 different tracts of land. Every type of budget, every type of design, every type of everything. And, unfortunately, I'm not quick to respond to something like that because I've done this over a decade. I've seen every type of thing. Honestly, if you're not contacting me about just maybe two or three, you're just in a different type of headspace. Hunters are very selective. Hunters generally know within reason what they're looking for. They definitely know their budget. They definitely know their location. So unfortunately, message me about 20 different properties right off the bat. I'll just be honest with you. It looks to me like, definitely you're an outfitter trying to do it on the sneak, not communicating properly with me so we can, get things, make sure it's squared away with the landowner. The worst thing I think is, again, like some type of data farm person where, you're trying to go out and you're trying to collect every bit of information of all the tracks that I've ever come across. I mean, again, I've done this over 10 years. I'm not just going to, no offense, but for your $89, go ahead and just, start cracking out location information. Again, that's why I collect driver's licenses. It's been brilliant. I tell you, it's cut down. I'm so happy collecting those driver's licenses and making people agree to track location privacy before visiting or before giving it out has been awesome. Plus, it helps everyone else out. Again, like I go back to last year, gentlemen that we actually got a lease situated on a tract of land in November. Some people that I'd sent to look in September had been hunting it the whole time. So you don't want me having every last person go and know where potentially you might be hunting. So I get this all the time. No, I don't have a click to check out type situation because it's just we avoid a lot of problems by doing things just a little bit slower and generally definitely going to be a little more accurate. So just in your own mindset, again, that was kind of a shocking example. It's probably actually 30 tracks, but nonetheless, whenever you hit us up, everyone does a good job. Usually it's about one. Makes sense because it's where you're looking and kind of what the budget is, maybe two or three, but definitely you might have good intentions, but just know, if you're barraging through with trying to get just a bunch of different information, that's not going to happen. And we're going to go things slow and make sure to figure out who you are, what you're up to, and things like that. So that was a little bit, not negative, but just something, a coaching point on everybody and kind of things that I deal with. Now for the good, I've been very excited on the return of some marketing outreaches that I've done. The biggest thing is like I said, as soon as I hang up, I'm going to video some land, or as soon as I publish this, I'm going to go video some new Kentucky land, great counties, Hardin, Breckenridge, good counties, hard to find, diversity of tracts, great deer areas. That's awesome. Over the weekend, I've got phone calls to return, Boyle County, Kentucky, again, one that's decent and kind of hard to find land. And then what I'm really excited about is I have two landowners in Iowa to return calls and get their tract information. So I'm really excited about that. You know, that's obviously a high draw state. It's a state that produces very, very big deer. I honestly, at times, I've had a little smoke there, but no real fire. I feel pretty good about these two opportunities that I'll be able to get them out to the website here sooner rather than later. So I'm excited, and again, that marketing effort is still ongoing. I've got several unknown calls that I've got to return as well that don't have messages. So hopefully that'll turn up a couple more as well. But so again, as soon as I publish this, I'm out the door for the rest of the day, looking at some new lands, getting some video cut, and then back to the website. It is getting to be that late summertime. You know, a lot of people have spent their money. We'll still get it out there, and as I keep reminding people, the prices are still going to be pretty stable. Again, as I mentioned last week, the price pressure is still ongoing, and no matter what's going on with the economy, even in the pandemic, I was at full capacity on just moving land as quick as I could. So it tends to be stable no matter what's going on with the economy. So I don't anticipate, and again, there's not really hardly, you can look for it, but there's not really hardly ever any late summer deals. Again, if anything, let stuff sit and then put a longer hunting lease in effect around November time. So anyway, I'm excited. It's been a good week. I'm going to get this published and out the door, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time. One of the interesting ones that's been open on the website, the Van Wert, Ohio one, I loved it. I'll never forget. I looked at about... I videoed about 8 different Ohio tracts that day, and man, I tell you what, and you may see from the video, it was probably, because I grew up in Florida, and it was for sure the coldest, most miserable day that I have experienced. I was excited, though, to experience it. Probably wasn't too miserable to me. Maybe a lot of people are wore out with it. I enjoyed the adventure of it. But, I mean, goodness gracious. Walking in snow long distances across crop fields that have been half melting, half snowing for several days, good ice and snow crust on top, and then basically a lake below and the crop field. So that was kind of wild, trying to stay on the high ground and the wind and it was just wild. And then learned too about having to plot my roads on those country roads and farm roads of Ohio on making sure to connect with as many roads as possible that went in the direction of the wind, because those roads were clear. And anytime I got on a road that was basically a crosswind road, it was mostly covered with snow, and it's, of course, one side really piled up than the other. Thank goodness I had the Jeep that day. I think I drove the whole time in 4 high, not very fast. So that was a wild day. One thing I like, of course, it's lucky. It's 140 acres. You can see the acres of woods on it. But whenever I was there, a lot of deer sign everywhere. I like it. The woods are very isolated. You definitely have to sneak in and out of it, but it may be one of those all day hunt type places, but definitely looked like a lot of deer in the area, a lot of deer activity when I was there. You can look at the video, a lot of deer tracks. That's one of the good things about the snow. A lot of deer tracks, scrapes, rubs, good trails inside of the woods whenever I got in there. So I really like it. It looks like it's convenient from the lay of the land, and maybe summer and spring when everything's real firm, and you can the lanes along the crop fields and stuff like that are decent. Maybe easier, but again, it's one of those places that even like the day I did, probably a heck of a walk for a lot of people. Maybe not everyone, but probably a heck of a walk to make sure you're just not pushing anything out and around that area. And then it's just a waiting game. And like any of these properties, especially these farm properties, big farmland counties with woodlots and woodheads here and there, you just got to mostly be lucky and be at the right travel lanes, travel corridors at the right time. But again, I really enjoyed it. It was one of the funnest days I had. Like I said, I videoed a bunch of Ohio land that day. I like to try to batch up properties to where, again, I'm not running the road out, especially something like this that I think it took all day, maybe 4 to 6 hours. Well, it was all day, but I think the farthest property was at least 4 something hours away, and then kind of worked my way back throughout the day. I believe I ended up spending the night that trip too, like a lot of my Ohio trips. So anyway, it was super cool. Glad to get out and see some new country. Those are new areas for me, so I really enjoyed it. Again, as soon as I post this, I'm out the door to video some more land, so I'm excited. And I've got several phone calls to return, get some locations, and hopefully get those out into the website as well. This is Stephen, Merk Farms Hunting. Check the website out. Something interests you, text the business line or send me an email.